Okay, hi guys, my first video lesson. This is going to be Doctor Doctor by UFO. So I just played a little bit of it. So what I'll start off with is it's in the key of D minor or F major. But first things first, I'll start off with the introduction part. Okay, we got some fairly tricky arpeggios at the start of this, but we don't necessarily have to play them exactly as they are on the recording. The first chord we've got is a D minor. So D minor we know should sort of look like that. Now the actual arpeggio itself in the song goes. So you've got the D minor shape. We'll also add in top E string on fret number 3, so we'll add in a G note there. Okay, if you don't want to do that, nothing wrong with just strum that D minor chord. Okay, second arpeggio we've got, it does like a B flat chord. What we've got is we've got the G and the D string, both on fret number 3. And the way we play that is, so I'm using the middle two fingers, one on the G, one on the B string, starting off on the D string and just picking each string one at a time. So if I do the D minor bit, I'll slow that down a bit. Open E string, fret 3, fret 1, back to the D note, back to that B string on fret number 3. I'll break this down and simplify it a little bit in a moment. Let's cover the arpeggios first. Next chord that we've got is an A minor 7. Open A string, D string fret number 2, open G, B string fret number 1, open E string. So put that together, we go. doing is starting off on the A string, all the way as far as the top E string. Coming back, my last note is the G. Okay, then we've got another D minor chord, but the place we're going to go with it, we're going to go up to fret number 10. We're going to play like a triad. So as G on fret number 10, B string fret number 10, top E string fret number 10, and then catch the top E string fret number 12. Now what I'm not trying to do, I'm not trying to nail this note for note. I'm going to get it fairly close. But there's only one guy that's going to be able to play this note for note, and it's going to be Michael Schenker, the guitarist that played on it in the first place. Alright, so this is just a bit of a, not a rough guide, but I'll get it as close as I can. B flat, A minor 7, D minor, way up the top of the neck. Okay, the second time round, D minor changes ever so slightly. Okay, catch that. The B flat also changes. Now B flat and G minor are very, very close. So what we got here is going to be so let's do the G on fret 3, B string fret number 3, top E string fret 5, release it to fret 3, B string again on fret number 3, and G on fret number 3. Okay, A minor 7 to it again. And we've also got that high D minor triad as well. I'll run through all of that. We've actually got 3 repeats of the whole thing. Okay, if you don't want to play all the arpeggios, there's some tricky picking parts, single note stuff going on there. Let's just do this instead. Look, we'll play a D minor. Let's do a B flat. A minor. Let's do an A minor 7. Here's your regular A minor chord. I'm sure most of you know that. So it's an A minor chord. Let the G open up on the G. So let your third finger go, and take it back to D minor. Okay. So the introduction for the song, I'll play it again. I'll play along to it again, just in a sec, so you can check out how this fits. But we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 B flat, 2, 3, 4 A minor 7, 2, 3, let's go back to D minor, 3, which repeats, 2, 3, 4 is your B flat, A minor 7, 2, 3, and back on D minor. Let's put the track on. I put a little clip track at the beginning of it just to help things along a little bit. And so here it is with the sort of slightly simplified chords as well. So we're going to go D minor again. one more time. Then the lead guitar part. Okay, cool. What have we got going on with the lead guitar part? Let me just go back to my clean set in a moment. What we've got happening here, we've got this note which would be an F. So we're looking at mostly looking at an F major scale. We got an F, a G. That there would be an A, and then this G string on fret number 3 would be a B flat. So the timing for it is 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got all those notes. So D string, fret number 3, up to fret number 5, still on the D string, down to the G fret 2, up to fret number 3. Okay, we got that. Okay, let's put a bit of distortion on it, see what it sounds like. Ready? Here we go. Next note we're going to go for. Okay, let's go back on clean so you can hear what I'm doing. Okay, so we had the F, G, A, B flat, staying with the G string, up to fret number 5, down to fret number 2, 3, 2. So maybe we can sort of split that into 2 parts. Let's go. Okay, here's your first part of it. Let's go 5, 2, 3, 2. Okay, first part again is, so like following your dots. Dot, dot, off down to the G, fret 2, back on the dot again. Okay, so first half. Cool, let's go up to fret number 5. We're going to go 5, 2, 3, 2, and now the next part we're going to have is going to go. So this is what we've seen already. We've got that A note, and then we go into miss our 2 marker dots, stayed on the G. We go fret number 4 and fret number 6. So these 2 notes are actually outside of the outside of the F major scale. We should have a B flat. We've got a B natural, and then we've got a C sharp. So we're gonna go first little bit. First part again, we get A, miss your dots, stay on the G, fret 4, fret 6, and with a little bit of distortion, just wind my volume down a little bit. We don't want too much fuzz going on here. Back to the song just a moment, and we can bring that part in. I'll start it roughly here, so this is halfway through the intro. 2, 3, 4. take a look at the chords we've got going on. For the verse, we've got D, and again, okay, I'll simplify some of these so you haven't got to play power chords right through the whole thing. You'll find them in other places as well, so you haven't got to struggle too much with that. Okay. We've got D up on fret 5 and 7, 5 there, 7 and 7, power chord shape. If you're struggling with like all 3 fingers there, that'll work just fine. Strip it down to 2 fingers, finger 1, finger 3, or even finger 1, and your little finger, that works. Next place we're going to go is all the way down to fret number 1. Same strings, so we've kind of slid it down on the same strings. Slid all the way down to fret number 1. And again, I would prefer to play that as a bit of a stretch, but finger 1 on the A string, finger 3 on the D, little finger on the G right there. So it's gonna go D, B flat, down on fret 1. Stay with fret number 1. And all we do, like, treat the strings like a ladder. We climb in the ladder by, everything comes up by 1 string. So we go in low E string, fret number 1, A string, fret number 3, D string, fret number 3. Shape stays exactly the same. So we're going to go D, down to fret 1, keep it in fret number 1, shift it up. Where we go next, we're going to go to a C next, which is back on the A string, fret 3, D string, fret number 5, G fret number 5. So let me give you all of those chords. We've got a D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. So D again. 3 and 4, 2, 3, 4, and F. Second time round, 2 slightly different chords. We're going to go G and an A. And then we've got to put the strums to it. The strums, the strumming parts are, here we go. It's like very much a sort of shuffle. It's like a triplet. If we think of the strumming part as a triplet, which would be triplet, 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 but with the middle beat missing, so you're going to get straight to the A. Okay, straight to that A chord. Okay, now, okay, so if we don't want to play, if you're struggling to play the power chords there, let's have a look at some alternatives which we can play. What we can do is this. We know the first chord is a D. Let's make it one of those. Look, we don't want a D major chord, okay? We don't want it. It won't work. There's too many notes in that, and this F sharp on the top is going to sound a bit too sweet anyway. So we've stripped that down. We've got a D string, an open D string. You've got a G on fret number 2. You've got a B string on fret number 3. Okay, the next thing we've got to find, you've got to find that B flat. So let's do it like this. Let's go middle 2 strings on your dot. So we'll have D, 2, 3, 4, B flat, middle 2 on your dot. Next place, what do we have next? F was next. Look, we can take that B flat shape, and you can just shift it up your strings. So here's what we get. We're going to get D, 2, 3, and 4. You get B flat, 2, 3, and 4. You get F, 2, 3, and 4. And the next one we need is a C. Okay, first time round, we did it like this, big stretchy power chord shape. Let's strip that one back, and we can have, let's have that middle two strings and only a dot. Doesn't really matter which two fingers you play it with. Middle two work, last two fingers work, whatever, just those two. Just be careful you don't hit any strings either side of it. It'll sound pretty awful, okay? We definitely don't want that. So here we go. So the chords for the verse: D, B flat, 2, 3, shift up for an F, 2, 3, middle two strings on your second dot, or fret number 5 for a C, back to D, 3 and 4, and B flat, and then second time round we've got an A. So if I just back that song up a little bit, and I can run both those lines of the verse. So let's take it back to see if this works. Let's have a look. That's not too bad. We gotta go D, F, C, D, A, okay, so we got an idea of the chords we're going to play over the solo, over the verse. Sorry. Now then, okay, lead guitar parts. We've got some harmony stuff going on. There's some really quite clever harmony stuff. Took me a little while to figure this out. So I'll run all 3 harmony parts through with you now. Okay, again, the scales that we're looking at. There's 2 little anomalies in this as well, but it happens mostly over the G and the A chord. Without delving too deeply into the theory side of this, well, maybe you guys can figure it out. Right? Yeah, try and work out the chords from the F major scale. You know, we're going to F, G. Like F is going to be a major chord. G should be a minor chord. A should be a minor chord. B flat, major, C major, D minor, E half diminished. Doesn't happen in the song, but it's really close to that G minor at the start. Look. Okay, and then back to the back to the D. Okay, here we go. So back to the F rather. So there's 1 or 2 little things going on with it, especially with the intro part. I meant to mention this earlier on. If we've got this. Great, all works just nicely over the F major scale. But all of a sudden we get this B and a C sharp. The 2 chords that go along with it sound very much like this. There's a melody behind that. Sounds like G major and an A major. We got 2 chord substitutions in it. Okay, I think what I better do is like sort of delve a little bit deeper into that in another video. So this is I have worked it out. I know where they come from. I know why the melodies work. But let's get on to the lead guitar parts. Now, okay, so 2 lead guitar parts to deal with. And here's your first one. Okay, so there's one of them. If I put the song on, maybe I can play along to that. Let's take this back a little bit here. So first harmony part. Okay, probably went back a little bit too far then. I will do a simplified version of that in a moment, just sort of bear with me. Okay, we'll get to the simplified version. Now what we've got, again, mostly D minor stuff, okay? So we started off on the G on fret number 5. Full step bend. Make sure that goes up to that D note there. We're bending a C up to a D. Okay, that gets released. We're going to go, there's our B flat again. Next note we have A, back to the C note, it gets bent again. By all means put a little bit of vibrato there if you want to. Here's where we go in next. We've got an E note to an F note. I'm going to do this with one finger. I'm just going to bend this with one finger because it's only going up half a step. Don't forget, in the key we're working with, we've got an it goes A, B, C, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, and we got an E and an F here. Okay, so you don't want to go too far with that. You don't want to bend into two frets. One fret is plenty. And then we're hitting that D note right there. So if I give you all of that, we're going to go on your G fret 5. Go to an A. Off to the B string fret number 5. Then we got the G on fret number 5 again. Now then, check this out. Okay, right, so we got a bend on a G on fret number 5. I had two of those notes run the wrong way. I'll fix that now. So we're going to go G on fret number 5, B string fret 6. There we go. Now this all happens over that G major chord I was mentioning earlier on. Now what's actually happening there? We're like superimposing like a minor scale over a major chord, which is quite clever. I believe Schenker does quite a lot of it. So let's put this little line together. So here we go. G on fret number 5. We're going to hold that bend. Again, make sure. Pull step. Fret 6 on the B string. We do a pull off down to fret number 3. Let's shift it up. Almost the same thing again. This time bending on the G on fret number 7. Little finger goes down fret 8 on the B string. And pull off to fret number 5. The two chords we've got, G major, A major. And finally, a bend on the B string, fret 8 up to fret number 10 and hold that note. I'll give you the whole of this first harmony guitar part. We're going to go. Okay, so that's the first harmony guitar part. I can play along to that as well if you want to. Let's back that up to there. Let's move this track down. And here it goes, it goes. Okay, now the second part, I'll do the slightly simplified version first, then I'll do the harmony part over the top of this. Now the slightly simplified version would be open on the E string, fret 1. So here we go. E, F, E, D. Okay, here's your first little bit. There's your two chords, D, B flat, going over the top. Next note. Now C, B string fret 1. Okay, there are a few compromises to be had, but we go in top E string, fret number 5 down to fret number 3. So what we got next? Next up we've got fret number 3, fret number 5, fret number 3, fret number 1.